Hey, Patrick Combs here of Might Club. I wanted to share a story with you today of a moment of might in my life. So I was young, I was poor, I was hungry, and I had just released my first book, Major in Success. And this was such a little book with, such a sort of unlikely, sales destiny. So one thing I thought, that I looked around and I saw everybody else had really fantastic testimonial quotes on their books by big famous people. My little book, nobody seemed to care. So in a moment of might, I decided I'm going to go for the two biggest people I can think of. Both mega best-selling authors. And I could just picture it if I had then one of their names and testimonials in my book, how mighty that would feel. So the first one I wrote to, and I'll name names I'll name names, Harvey Mackay. I wrote to Harvey Mackay, best-selling author of 6 books in a row. I wrote my heart out and asked him if he'd give me a testimonial quote. Jeez, man, he was giving everybody testimonial quotes. And I waited, and I got my letter back, and it was a big fat no from his secretary. Harvey doesn't have time for my little book. Probably true, probably realistic, but such a crusher, such a disappointment. I only had one other epic figure on my life that would really mean something to me on the front of my book, and that was the legendary Tom Peters, co-author of In Search of Excellence, the best-selling business book of all time. And I thought, if Harvey Mackay rejected my book, what's Tom Peters' reaction going to be? So I was really, really broke at the time, but I got a little idea, a little bit of might, right? What we call might. It was like, okay, what if I send this guy a book or a letter with a cover letter with my book, and I staple real money to the letter, and I bet him, I make a bet, like, I bet you $1 you love my book. If I'm right, give me a testimonial quote and send back my money. But if I'm wrong, you win. Keep the $1 attached to the letter. But then I thought, man, is $1 going to catch his attention, or do I need to play bigger? So I contemplated a $5 bill. Not a real big deal, but bigger than a $1 bill. And I thought, well, it's kind of like this, whatever I attach to this letter is probably like just burning money. Do I want to burn a $5 bill? Nah, I think I'm willing to play bigger. But when I reached for a 20, I was like, man, I'm broke. $20 is what I'm eating on for a couple weeks. I don't think I can really afford to burn a $20 bill. But might is about playing bigger. So I did something, I contemplated something that just made me afraid just to hold it. A $100 bill, because I didn't have $100. You know what I mean? Like, I could get it, but I definitely didn't have it. Would you mail a $100 bill to someone you thought was just going to, would you mail a $100 bill, put a stamp on a $100 bill and just mail it away? Like, never going to see that money again is how I felt the decision was. But, might is about playing bigger. That's what we do in my club. We play bigger. So I took that $100 bill, I stapled that letter, I made Tom Peters my bet, and I waited. And the letter came back. It came back fast. It came back so fast, I was like, why did this come back so fast? Could Tom Peters have really read this fast? And this is exactly how it came back. And I saw that, and I was crushed with disappointment. Look at that. There's my $100 bill, just a line that says, no way we're accepting a letter with a $100 bill attached. Go away. Crusher. And then when I put this thing down, I noticed that the back was filled with handwriting, that this wasn't an X, it was a word that said over. And when I turned it over, the first thing I noticed was Tom Peters, Patrick Combs, you keep the $100. It is a terrific book, and I greatly admire your chutzpah. Fabulous! You can use this quote as the following as an endorsement. In the next edition of my book, carried on the front cover, a testimonial quote from the one and only Tom Peters. Because I played bigger. One of those moments in life where I played bigger. Played so big it made me uncomfortable. What's your might? Play bigger.